Hey guys, Tyler here. Y'all have been waiting for it. It's now time for the Elite Bloonarius Challenge. This has been a lot of fun, actually. It took me about 4 or 5 times to beat it, so I can verify that it is challenging and just a lot of fun to do. Gotta be really stingy with your farming, and I realized that as it went on, because you guys will see, the HP of the Bloonarius it gets insane, basically, unlike anything seen in Bloons before. I had to change a lot about my early game, going Ben this time instead of Soda for extra greed, having so little defense early on, just the unupgraded Dart Monkey and Wizard that would be buffed by Ben's ability, just so I could get out an early bank and greed harder. And all this together leaves me with a little bit more money for the first stage of the Elite Bloonarius. Alright, it's the first stage. I'm now just collecting all of my money, and it has 50,000 HP, and get this, 8 phases. 7 skulls reside on the top, so we're going to be dealing with a lot of bloons at spawns, making a total of 8 phases, so I need a lot. Instead of going Arcane Spike like I did last time, I just had a lower tier wizard, and I got an earlier tax zone to accommodate. Tax zone ended up being great here. I mean, it was really good in my last run. It is great in this one as well. Does amazing damage to Bloonarius and also helps with the ceramic cleanup. Still getting a glaive ricochet to help out with the ceramic cleanup because there's 7 waves of ceramics, and a lot of them are happening really quickly. They're happening insanely quickly because the tax zone is so overpowered. I got the Alchemist buff and the Village buff on it, and it makes quick work of the first phase of Bloonarius. I even started farming again during the Bloonarius fight because I know that greed is really important for the later stages. Speaking of, I'll cut to stage 2 right now. It's now time for the tier 2 of Bloonarius. I have a Bloon Solver and a lot more farms. I went bank crazy, and I got a couple 420 farms as well. So already, my greed is much heavier than the last time. Once again, the tax zone is an excellent main damage unit against the Bloonarius, but the cleanup glue gunner is fairly important. Gotta get that guy because there's gonna be a lot of bloons coming out. We're not dealing with just ceramics this time. Regular Bloonarius had ceramics come out the skulls, but this one is a no. I'm still getting an overclock. I need a lot more damage, it looks like, but there's BFBs. A giant swarm of BFBs coming out, wave 62. This is a ton of bloons. An actual crap ton. So many that my glue gunner can't handle it, but actually it barely can handle it. It's close. It's nuts. And it keeps vomiting out these BFBs, so we need a lot of them. I'm trying to get a Dartling gun right now because I'm realizing, you know, maybe the Bloon Solver by itself wasn't that great. I might need a little Hydrocopod's Rocket Storm action to clean up, although it's helpful when the tax zone itself helps out. That definitely makes my life a lot easier. I just have to hope the BFBs spawn in the prime time for that to help out, but honestly, I can't rely on that. And while doing all this, I've played enough times that I know that this will hopefully be good for the Bloonarius, but not with flying colors. My plan is for this to be barely good enough because I want the maximum amount of greed so I can continue to farm or at least get a lot of money in the meantime. I have $80,000 floating around, and I'm not spending it because I would like to spend it on a 5th tier banana farm. That's right, I want the top path on that guy is 100,000, and it makes all other banana farms give way more money, and it gives a lot of money itself. But not before I swap out my Bloon Solver for a Bloon Solver with the Glue Splatter cross path. I think it took me long enough to realize I had messed that one up accidentally. So we've got a lot more Pierce now, which means I should be better against the BFBs, but they're spawning very far along the track. So if BFBs spawn too far, I still could lose to the group bloons of the BFBs. I have no doubt that the tax zone will be able to handle the Bloonarius itself, but sometimes it's the bloons that spawn that are worse. But there's 2 skulls left. It's on the bottom, and right now I finally decided to get my Banana Central. It's beautiful, $100,000 of an upgrade, making the other banana farms better. So now it's time to go back to farming. I'm hoping the new glue gunner will mean that I won't have any BFB problems, but again, I'm keeping an eye on that while I continue to farm. The farming has completely pivoted to 4th tier top path banana farms at this point. They're just more space efficient. And now the Bloonarius is down to its final skull. BFB spawning very far along the track, actually past my tax zone, but thankfully the glue gunner is barely able to clean up at the end. Like, it is tight. Now, I just remember after this part, I just let the Bloonarius live for a bit. I just kind of keep farming because I don't really need to rush killing it as long as I kill it eventually. Is, you know, 10,000 HP. I'm sure it's going to go down, right? Right? Well, I'm really cutting it close. Just continue to focus on farming. Who cares about anything else? 5,000 HP and 2,000. And I collect from the banks just in time to get the MAD, and that does wipe it out. 5 rounds to go until the Tier 3 Bloonarius shows up. I'll see you guys on the other side. It's Tier 3 Bloonarius time. This one has 2 million HP, nearly as much as the Tier 5 Bloonarius of the regular variety. But this one comes out on wave 80. 2 million HP, again with 7 skulls. I'm gonna need a lot to deal with this. I'm overclocking the MAD. I'm glad I have that, and you'll see above the tag zone, I got a tower I don't really use too much. It's this super brittle, but never mind that. When the skull happens, there's a BAD and DDTs that shoot out. So the first time I played this, I died on Tier 3 just because the jet of DDTs jumped so far ahead. They literally spawned in the exit for me. I mean, I was probably going to lose to the Bloonarius itself, but I just noticed that itself was pretty funny. And yeah, those are a serious issue that you have to prepare for, how fast the DDTs are. So the MAD at least shoots them down very quickly, so I don't have to worry about that. But again, I have to pop the Bloonarius a lot further ahead in the track now because of those DDTs. So the Super Brittle, for those who don't know, when it hits Bloons, all attacks that hit the Bloons the Super Brittle just hit will do 5 more damage. So that is really good for the attack zone. There's a fast attacking tower whose attacks only do 1 per shot. Now they do 6 per shot. It's just 6 times as strong, basically. So insanely powerful. The MAD doesn't notice that much a difference, but it's already a powerhouse in itself. So nothing to hate here. And now I'm trying to go for an Ultra Boost, I think. Or no, I just get a second overclock because I have 2 powerhouse towers. I really want to make sure both of them have the overclock buff. Of course, I'll get the Ultra Boost eventually, and I plan to very soon, but that's $120,000 away. Right now, I just got to focus on the Bloonarius itself. Maybe not even save enough for that. I think I'm just going to get a sniper instead. Cripple Moab. Cripple Moab, if you put on strong, has the same ability as the I can't remember the ice tower name now all of a sudden. It's I don't use it that much, but basically when the Cripple Moab hits a Bloon, all attacks dealing damage to it will deal 5 more damage. So now that attack zone is at 11 damage per shot. And again, the MAD is about the same, but it's still a powerhouse. Now there's 2 skulls left, so the powerhouse nature of it is excellent. I think we're going to be just fine. Doing a little bit of tactics where I do the overclock and then the MAD's rocket storm. That way I get more rockets out of the deal. And of course, I'm keeping up farming during this whole thing because, believe it or not, this isn't enough money. I had to get the Monkey Wall Street other 5th tier farm as well as some other 4th tier top path farms. I'm also saving up for a Monkeynomics, which I should be very close to. I guess the Ultra Boost was a lie. Who needs it? I actually need farms instead. And there we go, Monkeynomics. 2 more skulls left. Will my greed ruin me? The Bloonarius is pretty far along the track. And here's another set of skulls to see where these DDTs end up. They end up dead. That's where they end up. It's not so bad, at least. It looks worse than it is. And I think the final skull phase is going to happen pretty soon, so we're going to see about a repeat of the last time. But I do want to make sure I don't keep this alive for too long, because a sliver of health is now a much larger sliver with 2 million HP. If it's 2 million at tier 3, just imagine the higher tiers. Oh, now I finally get Ultra Boost. I did get it now. Well, it's good to have it early because 10 Ultra Boosts take a long time to get on the tower. And there we go, the final phase. Gotta actually retarget the MAD. Bloon's making it pretty far along the track. Good thing I still have that Bloon solver. That did solve my problem, but there actually are more DDTs. They're just inside the BAD, so that's actually not too bad though this time. Alright, so there we go, cleaning that up. Finally doing my last bits of damage, just the 200,000, 100,000, knocking it down. And once this is clear, I'll hop right away, probably to tier 4. Because if this is just going to speak to how insane the rest of the fight's going to be. Speaking of, here's the tier 4 Bloonarius, and it has 8 million HP. Multiplying by 4, and now I have a temple. So of course we need a Vengeant True Sun God, but I don't nearly have the amount of greed for it. All these 4th tier banana farms and 5th tier banana farms still don't amount to a temple yet. I probably should have gotten a Monkeyopolis. I could see that helping a little bit, but 8 million HP. I had to relocate my MAD because it has 10 times overclock ultra boost stack, and I didn't want that to be swallowed by the temple because I didn't want to do the overclock stack again. So that was needed. I finally got both the other 5th tier super monkeys outside the temple's range, but I have to save up $500,000 in order to get the Vengeant Temple still. I may have to sell some banana farms because as it looks right now, my current damage is not going to keep up with the Bloonarius. I haven't even seen its first damage phase yet. And we don't even know what comes out of the skull. It's shooting some fortified rigorous ceramics, but that's not its main drop. What's it gonna be? How scary is it gonna be? I'm just letting it roll so I can try to greed a little bit more, and I'm just assuming the Vengeant Temple will make things better. But outside of the freaking Bloonarius comes fortified DDTs and fortified BADs. So yeah, if this isn't insane enough, they dropped some of the hardest bloons in the game, and I realize now that I need to start selling farms at least a little bit. Ideally, I'd like to keep some farms around, but $500,000 is a lot, man. I end up selling damn near all of them, except for my 5th tier top path and a few 4th tier top paths. But now I have $500,000, and it's finally time for the Vengeant Temple. Hopefully it's not like too late or something. Imagine I get the Vengeant Temple and they can't do 6.5 million damage. Gee, wouldn't that suck? Well, I mean, once I get the temple, my job isn't really over, because I want to bring back the MAD inside the range. I want to keep ultra boosting the Vengeant Temple, because that has some ways to go. I want to get the Cripple Moab. I want to get the, again, Top Path Ice Tower that I seem to be forgetting the name of. And, of course, the village ability, or at least jungle drums. Just as much support to this temple as I can possibly get. It's super brittle. I saw it. It's called super brittle. I'm going to forget that in 2 minutes. So, I'm finally doing damage a little bit faster. We did do 2 million damage since buying the Vengeant Temple. It feels like things are speeding along, but I did take my sweet time to get here in the beginning, so the BADs are still going to get very far. Now, the good news is the DDTs get instantly vaporized by the Temple's plasma. This is a max tier Vengeant Temple. The DDTs are going to be instantly shot down by the dude, unless if they literally spawn past the exits. I am going to catch leaks from that, so it's really just the HP of the Bloonarius, and even a little bit the fortified BADs themselves that give me worry, but mostly the Bloonarius here. And we're still taking our sweet time to take it down, but it does look like after the final skull comes down, I am going to make sweet time at taking down this Bloonarius. Tier 4 is not too bad. I built up a little bit more farms because I'm going to need it for this final phase. This is my new best. Tier 4 popped. It's time for the ultimate Tier 5. Here we go. It has 40 million HP coming out. The strongest bloon in the history of Bloons TD by far. It takes so late in free play for bloons to get to this level of HP. And maybe they don't even. Like, the only reason this is possible is because it's so slow. I don't think any bloon that has been defeated has had this much HP in Bloons TD, and I need a lot. I have gotten my temple max ultra boost. I have a support temple for the temple, and I'm starting to get a bunch of other good towers underneath the support temples that could wreak havoc and also get ultra boosted. Of course, I have the carpeted spikes. Of course, I have the tax zone super brittle combo. Now I'm getting a druid squad because I feel like I need some more damage, and hopefully more to come. I still have a few banana farms left, but I'm having to sell them because I need damage now. I can't really tell what's coming out of the skulls. It's probably just fortified BADs. The fortified BADs are not the worry. The 40 million HP is. I'm making decent work on it now. It's now below 30 million, but still we got a long way to go. Got a big plane. There's so many projectiles on the screen. Gotta hope YouTube bitrate does not fuck this because it looks so good on my end. And between everything here, some Moab domination, I decide to think that maybe I can get the Boomerang Paragon, only realizing that I'm about $400,000 short of the actual upgrade. So that doesn't really stick. I'll do some selling eventually, but I'm trying to think of like towers that could help me out here. And I mean, I even have primary expertise. I might even get super mines in there. I forget. Maybe not this time. And I just am really hoping this is enough defense. I sell and move my super brittle because it's just a ranged attack and not like Cripple Moab where it can deal its little bonus support thing from anywhere on the map. I still have $146,000 I'm struggling to figure out how to spend because it's really diminishing the returns in defense. But the good news is the Bloonarius is below half HP. Oh, get an Inferno Ring. That's not too bad. Keep focusing on abilities. There's a lot of abilities here. Homeland defense and, of course, overclocks and ultra boost. I have both. I'm stacking both the ultra boost and the overclock on the temple because I believe there's separate buffs, giving it 4 times attack speed briefly, and then of course the homeland defense. And once all that's timed together, then of course I do my MAD and Carpet of Spikes abilities and permacharge just to make them a little bit faster, just to kind of squeak out that little bit extra damage. And all this together means we're finally going to take it below 10 million HP, getting some dark champions and still making it pretty far on the map. It's crazy that with this insane #epic late game defense, it still makes it 2/3 the way around the map and has 10 million HP to go. Dropping to 2 phases to go, I get a perma spike because who knows, I might miss somehow. I really want to play it safe because this is the farthest I've made it. I don't want to blow it now. Everything is going swimmingly, and we're going to drop below 5 million HP soon. I finally spent most of my money. Maybe just a quick relocation of Super Brittle one more time for the boys. Final phase. Those fortified BADs got nothing on the 4 million HP the Bloonarius has left. And by the looks of it, it's going to go down. Holy crap, what a fight this has been. This has just been so much fun. Again, it's been nice getting better and better at farming during this. I figured out how much I can greed on Monkey Lane, and that has paid off massively by being able to afford an insane defense by round 120. Tier 5 Bloonarius Elite taken down. The hardest challenge in a while has been beaten. So this is a lot of fun. I love the Bloonarius. It feels like a whole new game mode. I'm thinking I'm just gonna play the Bloonarius a bit more in the future. I got some challenge ideas for it. Stay tuned for that because I'm just loving this fight. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Have a wonderful day and peace.